Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, we have Go4Lol number 57, round number 3. We have, on one side, we have Dirtnap Gaming for the purple team, and for the blue team, we have Hoodstomp Graves GG. Both are pretty popular in the regular streams, and this is Attackfang right now, doing the shoutcast. With me right now is Fatalocity, who's going to give the team introductions, and he's also going to get a level 1 fights.
Alright, so on Hoodstomp GG, we have Lemon Nation and Hoodstomp down bottom lane, playing Lulu and Ashe. We have Chidori playing Sejuani support, and it looks like we might have something going on near mid lane. We have Anvek top lane as Renekton, and Link 115. Mid is Ari. On Dirtnap Gaming, we have Lovely Chris on Nocturne, Loopiness on support Nunu, Raging Kenny on Kog'Maw, Pawn Gypsy on Gangplank top lane, and Flappy Bearfish playing Twisted Fate. Looks like they're just kind of sitting around in mid. I don't...
Right now, it looks like they're just kind of defending their own jungle, making sure that, you know, they don't go in and invade. The ward was put down in the opposite jungle, you know, so then they do see where the jungler is coming from, where Sejuani is coming from, into the Wraith camp. So they can get an indicator if Sejuani decides to gank top for level 2 gank. They will know because she wouldn't appear to the Wraiths at that point in time, probably around the 220 mark.
Yeah. It doesn't really look like anybody's really trying to fight. They're just kind of all sitting on defense. That ward already took a hit, so they know it's there. Just kind of waiting it out.
Yeah, they're just kind of waiting it out, making sure that, you know, that no one really invades, because I know both Nocturne and Sejuani are kind of blue dependent for their jungles. Sejuani especially, because Sejuani uses up a lot of mana just to deal enough damage to go through. I mean, look at it right now. She got taken down to about to about 360 HP. She already lost like 150 just on wolves. I mean, she does take a lot of damage early. And meanwhile here we have GP. We have GP taking red with Kog'Maw, and that's going to be red for GP top against Renekton. What do you think they'll do for the Renekton lane?
I mean, honestly, it's kind of going to push Renekton fully out of lane, but it looks like Kog'Maw's going to set up top, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this team.
Oh, this could be a switch. We could have Team Dirtnap Gaming going top against Renekton 2v1 and having GP coming bot to handle Ashe and Lulu. This is an interesting strategy. I have seen it quite a bit. COG has been using it recently to just do a swap lane, and Lovely Chris coming across, like. giving some gank on Chidori. Chidori getting put down to 300 HP. You know, giving a little love tap, saying that, you know, hey, I'm Nocturne, I'm right here in the jungle.
And there's Pawn Gypsy hanging out bottom lane, taking that 2v1, like you said.
Oh, and a gank happening mid here. We have Lovely Chris going on Link. The fear goes off and a flash is being pressed. So Link does have flash down, and pressure is being put mid by Nocturne as he comes up to take his race then.
Nocturne going back into the jungle. Everything seems to have calmed down a little bit. A little bit of pressure bottom lane, but there's no fights going on as of right now. Renekton's completely pushed out of the lane.
Yeah, he's not being able to do anything because Nunu and Kog'Maw will present a challenge. If he goes up to grab that CS, Nunu does have a snowball available, and Kog'Maw will have the damage to be able to keep kiting, so he will lose a lot of HP if he does try to go up and get that. And meanwhile top, I mean, we have GP basically pushed directly into his bottom lane. He is still getting a decent amount of CS though. Looking at it, he has 12 CS to Renekton's 8, which is a 4 advantage right now.
Looks like we have Nocturne heading up top. Let's go ahead. Nocturne going in with...
And, he does get the nice slice and dice. That was a good bait right there, and he does get away without having to use any of his summoners. And right now we have mid, right? It's kind of a farm lane. We have Ari.
Go ahead and look at Nocturne invading, going straight for Sejuani. Sejuani base.
Yeah, Sejuani base. You know, she probably knew that was aware that that Nocturne would be coming in. Nocturne, Lovely Chris being very aggressive in the jungle. You know, making sure he presses the advantage on Sejuani, because Sejuani doesn't really have too much that she can do to take out Nocturne.
Renekton just getting completely pushed out of the lane. There's not really much that he's able to do up there with the range of Kog'Maw and the damage output that they have.
I mean, Renekton being a really strong 1v1 or 2v1 or not really too much, because he doesn't really have any range attack that he could use to, you know, keep getting these creeps, while GP does have Parlay that he can use in the bottom lane. And
it looks like Nocturne is trying to set something up mid. In for the gank.
Flash to the stun. And the stun, that is going to be first blood. Flappy Bearfish picks up the first blood, but Chidori trying to help it out. Will not be able to do anything. Flappy Bearfish, the 400 gold advantage, and the first blood of the game.
Nocturne going to invade the jungle while Sejuani goes top. doesn't look like Sejuani's intending to regain the jungle, just trying to hold the mid lane, keep it.
Yeah, Sejuani's
okay.
trying to keep the mid lane because she doesn't want to lose out on all his experience. Because you push it in, that's an entire wave she's losing out on and pays the race. She does go out on.
They are going on Renekton.
Twisted Fate's getting hit, takes down to 300 HP. They go on Renekton, but he's able to slice and dice out of it. There's two things happening at the same time, man. They're being really aggressive in lane, as opposed to just kind of keeping a farm lane like most of the other top teams.
Yeah, it looks like they might actually try and engage on Renekton right here. Yep, they're going for Renekton. That's a kill for Kog'Maw.
And they get the quick kill, so Dirtnap Gaming pulls out the 2-0 lead against Hoodstomp Graves GG. Hoodstomp Graves GG being the runner-up for Go4Lol number 56. This could be in jeopardy coming this game. Chidori just kind of coming around, just thinking that, they could take out Raging Kenny early, but Raging Kenny too far away for Sejuani to do anything. And a ping goes out bottom against Lovely Chris. They do ping it. They do know that Lovely Chris is in their jungle at the race, so they might try to do something against that. It looks like they'll just keep backing off, and Lovely Chris just kind of just taking the race, smites the race, backs off. Just keeps dominating Sejuani's jungle. Meanwhile, Sejuani has to take lane experience just then she could be level 5. While Chris is just basically just been in jungle the entire time.
It looks like Lulu actually is going top to help Renekton out there, leaving Ashe in the solo lane against GP, hoping that they can match a little bit better up there, get Renekton back into the game.
Yeah, because Renekton right now, he's a really strong early game champion. Like, if you get him mid-late game, if he's farmed, he does exceptionally well. I mean, Wicked has been starting to use him as kind of a top lane champion, but if you shut him down early, he's useless late game. He doesn't really have much other than being it.
Twisted Fate's teleporting up to top, going on Renekton. Looks like this might be a kill.
Oh, but they have to back off. They do not have enough range. He's just way too close to the tower, and Lulu helping with the shield and Whimsy. They're not able to pick up that kill.
Sejuani is going in on Nocturne's jungle. I'm not 100% sure what this is going to turn into. Looks like just a dive, and Lovely Chris is going to walk away.
But he's slowed, though. Ari coming over on the side. They might try to make something out of this, but Lovely Chris just getting tapped basically at half HP. A ping does issue out on Hoodstomp Graves GG. They might be coming bottom lane to gank GP. GP could get stuck here. He wards it. I think he knows it's coming in. He's actually able to back, but Ariel comes down, and Hoodstomp Graves GG does get on the board. Link 115 getting the kill. And meanwhile up top, Lulu picks up the kill on Raging Kenny. So that is a 2-2 game. So the 1K advantage that Dirtnap Gaming did have is now turned to just 300 gold.
Things are going out on Nocturne at their blue. They do know he's there, and it looks like they're trying to get into him. But Lulu and Renekton aren't quite fast enough to get there. Ari's off in the jungle taking their blue buff, and Nocturne just gets a free blue.
And that's pretty big there too, because I mean Sejuani and Ari picks up the blue from the other camp. So basically they swap blues at that point in time. We have Twisted Fate pinging for Dragon. Dragon is not warded actually. If you look at the vision here, purple team and blue team have similar. Actually, blue team has a lot more vision than the purple team at this point in time. So they could use that to their advantage, but neither of them have a complete vision of Dragon.
Yeah, looks like they might actually be setting up for a Dragon, or GP's just going for. Yeah, looks like they're setting up for Dragon.
They have 3 people in. I don't know if
disconnect from Twisted Fate.
Disconnected from the game. This could be big for them. They do lose out on that Dragon control. They're gonna do it anyway. They don't have it warded. I don't think they know. Lemonmation coming across the side. He's gonna find out that this Dragon's being done and we need to do something about this. And Beck coming across the other side. This could be Lovely Chris is getting low.
Ash ultimate headed in.
Ash ultimate heading in, and who picks it up? And Hoodstomp Grace GG picks it up. Pawn Gypsy is going low, and you might be able to flash out. He's just hanging on the side. I guess he's waiting for Flash to come in. He goes down. Does not have that Flash up. And Lemonation going on loopiness. They could go in. Already Flash happening. Pops the ult, and that's going to be a kill for Link. And wow, that is a 5-2. That just basically blew the game wide open. That TF disconnect really, really hurt Team Dirtnap Gaming.
Yeah, the Dirtnap Gaming was actually up 300 gold, and now they're down 2,500. So that's a lot of global gold. It's a lot of team gold. It's a lot of items. That one disconnect and one team fight just changes the entire game.
And then meanwhile, top, all this was happening, Hoodstomp was actually pushing top lane. He was able to take it down to almost about half HP. And that's pretty big, especially coming from they Soul Dragon. They got 2 kills, and there's a fight happening between Pawn Gypsy and Hoodstomp. You know, they're just basically skirmishing back and forth. Hoodstomp looks like it's being the victor, but they're basically switching lanes. We have Ashe and GP up top, while we have Vec and Chidori bottom. They do take bottom turret, so that extends their gold lead to about 3.5k.
Hopefully they just try and reset everything. I mean, I see everybody's trying to farm back up, playing a little bit more passive now that Twisted Fate's disconnected. Nocturne's back in the jungle. Gangplank is just sitting there. Siasen. It looks like Hoodstomp GG is actually going to try and do something potentially.
It looks like they're going to try to maybe go onto Nocturne's red. They do realize that it is probably up soon, and it might do, but it looks like they didn't do anything with it though. There were pings issued out. I guess they were just saying that Nocturne is nearby. I'm fairly certain they do know that Twisted Fate is disconnected. I mean, he hasn't shown his face in a couple minutes, especially in that fight. Like, Twisted Fate would have definitely been there at that point in time. I mean, it's Twisted Fate. He can just show up, pop his ult, and then he'd be up there with Destiny.
Looks like something's trying to be set up top lane with Lulu there, but Nocturne pops his ultimate. And
Nocturne pops his ultimate. I don't know exactly what that was for. I guess it was maybe the hint of the vision that said they don't get the full target on the Pawn Gypsy. That's the bit, because they were setting something up top. They might have picked up the kill, but you know, I guess they had it warded, and they didn't want them to gain vision on GP, so then, you know, to get the ults, and they have to basically throw the ults in blind. So GP basically comes out relatively safe. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe Lovely Chris had a misclick.
Maybe they might also just be sitting, giving the other team time to rebring Twisted Fate into the game.
You know, give them a little bit of a scare, because right now they pretty much have to just keep farming, just kind of be as passive as possible. So
Ari is going on Twisted Fate. Or Nocturne mid, but backs off a little bit under turret.
There's a little bit of skirmish, but meanwhile up top, Hoodstomp and Lemonation do take the second turret, and they're going to extend this out to a 4k gold lead. And this is starting to, what was a really close game is starting to get blown wide open from this disconnect. And it's quite sad because, you know, they were wide open. Oh, and we have backs pinging from Raging Kenny. Link is, oh, the ult comes out on Raging Kenny. And Chidori's going to get the slow up, and Raging Kenny is going to go down. Link is on a killing spree that has 3 kills. And wow, Link is getting a lot of gold here. Ults onto Lovely Chris, doesn't get the Q off, and Lovely Chris is going to walk away relatively safe.
And as that's happening, Hoodstomp and Elimination are just pushing GP out of lane, trying to push that top lane turret.
And there's nothing they could do either, because TF is missing from the game. See, this would be a perfect time for a TF gank, but, you know, right now TF is just sitting there AFK at base. Taking a look at the items too, we have Ari, who just picked up 3 and 1.
A summoner has reconnected.
Okay, TF is now back in the game. This is now finally a 5v5 fight, but looking at Link's items, I mean, he does have about 1,100 gold, and he has already Blasting Wand and 2 Vamp Scepters. I think he's probably going to save up to pick up that needlessly large rod and pick up an early Rabadons.
And if you look at the carry gold difference, I mean, you see the difference of Ari at 4,400 gold, Twisted Fate at 3,000, and then Ashe is sitting up at 4,500 gold and against Kog'Maw's 3,200. The CS difference there is 53.
And that's big. That's big when your carries are just missing those large amounts of gold, because, you know, this is the difference between, you know, BF sword and not having a BF sword. And that's a huge amount of damage for a carry.
Yeah.
Taking a look here, we have Hoodstomp and Lemonation. They're pushing mid pretty hard. Flappy Bearfish might try to get the stun off, but just use it on a Kenny minion. I feel like as though they want to try to get back in this lead, but they have to do something pretty big right now to get back into this game.
As of right now, I think that they're just gonna let Flappy Bearfish just kind of sit in lane, CS a little bit, try and get his gold up so that he can do something a little bit more than just a stun.
Yeah, because right now all he has is a stun. He just hit level 8. He still is really behind, considering Link and Hoodstomp are both level 10. Lemonation, the support, is actually almost a higher level than him, and they do get it off. The back pings are being put out. Link gets the ult off. Oh, the Hoodstomp arrow misses. Oh man, that wasn't a good arrow. But Flappy Bearfish being forced to use his flash. Looping this using his ultimate. A Lovely Chris ulting onto Link 115, but this is all going to back off, and no kills are going to be exchanged here.
It looks like that might actually turn. It looks like they might actually bring GP into this fight and try and push a little bit late. It looks like Ari might.
Get that, but the ultimate on the Chidori. Oh my god, Chidori's ultimate just taking him out. Raging Kenny goes down as well. And that is a 2-for-0 exchange for Team Hotshot Great or Hoodstomp Graves GG. I'm sorry about that. That's a huge exchange for him. That puts the gold lead up to 6K.
6,000 gold difference and a 2 tower difference. Renekton going back up to farm.
Yeah, this is starting to become a really big opening here. I mean, Renekton, looking at the farm too, we have 134 CS from Ashe.
Taking another turret and pinging for dragon.
Yep, they're gonna be able to get that dragon. That's a free dragon right there, extending the lead to 8K. And we do looking at Ashe. Like Ashe has 134 CS to Kog'Maw's 86. That is a 50 CS advantage 15 minutes into the game. It looks like
Dirtnap Gaming is actually trying to converge on dragon, trying to make something happen.
And they do get the dragon reset, so they do back them off from dragon. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do this because they do have a full 5v. Actually, no, they don't have a 5v5 fight, and Link is low, so they can't do it. That's a free dragon then for Team Dirtnap Gaming. That's going to help them get into the lead as well. But meanwhile, Renekton is just pushing top as fast as he can, just trying to get towards that second tower, get some damage on it, just to get a retaliation, because if they do get the second tower before, or they do get the second tower, it'll be a better trade than getting dragon. So
well, Dirtnap Gaming is actually taking mid turret, and Kog'Maw's headed up for Renekton. I don't know if he's going to get there in time, but he might be able to make something happen.
Might be able to make something happen, looking at it right now. Oh, he does. Oh, he's not going to be able to make anything happen. The tower does go down, and he's going to be able to get away.
But the whole team is headed up to top lane.
The entire Dirtnap Gaming is headed his way up. You're right, and he does have the stun card up, but will he be able to get it in time? He does get the sight on him, so he's going to be able to get the stun card in the brush. Stun happens here, and they're surrounded by all 5 people, so there's no way for Nvek to stay alive. But he could get the kill. Oh, he gets the kill on Kog'Maw. 5v1. Wow, that is exactly what you would need from your Renekton when you're being stuck on a 5v1 situation. That is just a ridiculous exchange there, and the rest of Hoodstomp Graves GG is just gonna be waiting around, I guess. It's
like Ahri might actually try and go make something happen as they converge on red.
Oh, that all happens, and Lovely Chris dodging it. That's great intuition by Lovely Chris. Oh, but Flappy Bearfish is just gonna go down here to Hoodstomp, and that's. Oh, and he does get the flash, but the stun goes off, but he's able to escape in time. That's. And Chidori did steal that red, I believe, from fucking Chris, or from Lovely Chris, because she was able to get the smite off in time. And that's big. They're just gonna keep it. They're keeping extending this lead, and TF is just increasingly just not being too much of a factor in these fights. I mean, he did pull out the early advantage. He was the person that was farmed in the beginning of the game. He was the person that was getting the kills, and now it's just being so far behind. It's really hard for them to have an answer for anything.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they're kind of starting to try and make things happen that aren't available. I see a lot of solo fights that are turning into people staying too long. And Nocturne ultimates go off with a Twisted Fate ultimate going on Hoodstomp GG top lane.
But he doesn't get the R off though. He was too far away from range. I think they tried to do that a little bit too early. They were trying to force that a bit too much. Ashe just using her cleanse and her flash and just being able to get out of there as quickly as possible. I mean, if Nocturne was able to get his ultimate on there and maybe just waited for a couple seconds more, they would have been able to get that kill off. And I believe there was a change that happened before about Nocturne Gold. Is that there used to be like a range or something that you could tell where you can go, or there should be something where you could tell where you can go with the range of Nocturne's ult, but I guess it's a little bit of player skill and just knowing and being aware of how far your ult is when you activate it.
Nocturne walking around a little bit in the jungle, and he's gonna meet up with Ahri.
Oh, and the GP ult not really helping Lovely Chris out too much as Link is becoming the aggressor, and Link might be able to pick up this kill on Lovely Chris, but he's dodging and he picks it up. That's an unstoppable.
There's a Renekton fight on Kog'Maw.
Renekton gets caught. I mean, Kog'Maw gets caught by Renekton, and that's a kill. That's another kill for Hoodstomp's Graves GG, extending it out to 12-3 and almost a 9K gold advantage.
It's sitting at about an 8,500 gold advantage with a huge item advantage, and the fact that Hoodstomp Graves GG is always in on the team fights, the assists are going out, and the global gold's just piling up.
And taking a look at the Dirtnap Gaming team, like they don't really have any big ticket items yet. But meanwhile, we have Sejuani picking up the Warmogs. We have Ahri ready with the Abyssal Scepter and the Hextech Gunblade, and we have Renekton already picking up a Bloodthirster. I mean, they have the big ticket items right now, and Dirtnap Gaming just has Doran's Blades, the Cloak, and they have a needlessly large rod. They don't really have anything that's fully complete yet.
Yeah, they have a lot of piece items, but it doesn't look like anybody's had the ability to fully build what they're trying to go for.
Oh, and Pawn Gypsy's just gonna get there just a little bit away. He almost had it. He wanted to get that little bit Easter special, get a little bit of that candy to like take him out. But on Vec and Hoodstomp's just kind of waiting in the wings here, trying to get a gank. But I think they were expecting just GP to show up, and they were gonna try to 2v1 gank him. Pings are being issued out here by Baron for Hoodstomps and Vec, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything with that, but they are converging. This could be a big team play that's happening. The ult hits on Loopiness, and the Renekton is almost able to get his W off, but Loopiness is able to escape in time. Pawn Gypsy is being focused here, and he's able to flash out, and then there's no kills that are going to be exchanged here today.
Looks like Hoodstomp GG's returning for Baron or baiting the Baron, trying to force a team fight, get something to happen after that didn't go as planned.
Well, they are baiting it, and Raging Kenny does get caught.
Twisted Fate's ulting out, but he doesn't make it in time.
He's not able to ulti out in time because all 5 people are just engaging on top of him. And this is just snowballing into a game that's going to be really hard for Durnap Gaming to be able to get in, unless they can try to steal this Baron. They do have Nocturne, who is a really good Baron stealer, able to pop his ultimate and come straight in. I have seen a lot of Nocturne ults come in and be able to do it, but they do have Oracle, so they're going to be able to clear out any wards that are around the side. I think they just want to get a ward just enough so they can get vision, so they can try to ult.
Looks like Renekton was planning on going on Gangplank, but Gangplank moved away. Renekton's now going on Nunu.
The ulti comes in, and the smite happens, but were they able to take it? They were able to take it. They stole Baron.
Durnap Gaming did take that Baron.
This could be a swing, and Unvec gets himself caught. Will he be able to? He will go down, and this is a big swing for Durnap Gaming, picking up a split kill and Baron. That's an extra 1,500 gold, and that disables Hoodstomp Graves GG from being able to push, because it's hard to push a team with full Baron. That's a huge buff. It's basically giving them the big ticket items that they need.
Everybody,
go ahead.
Everybody from Hoodstomp GG's backed off a little bit. Now people are itemizing, getting back into lane, and it looks like they might actually try and get something to happen, try and pull somebody out of position, and maybe get themselves back into this game. It's a 9-kill deficit, but with a Baron, it's huge.
And also, it looks like too that Durnap Gaming does have more of a late game team. I mean, we have Kog'Maw coming in the wings. We have a team that's basically can protect Kog'Maw. We have GP. We have Twisted Fate. Now, all who could do a lot of damage late game in comparison, to Renekton, who falls off late game. We have Sejuani, who doesn't really do that much damage, but she's a really great CC'er. Ahri and Ashe still do a good amount of damage, but Ashe does have the worst scaling out of all the ADs in the game.
Yeah, Hoodstomp Graves GG setting up for a Dragon, and I'm not 100% sure why Durnap Gaming is so backed off. They have full Baron and real decent health.
Yeah,
they're sitting under their turret.
They would have been able to contest it, but I don't think they would have been able to go back in time, because I think they realized that some of their people were already back, and I don't know if they actually were fully aware that it was going to happen. I think they're basically focusing on just trying to defend. They do realize that they are down they are down 10k gold, and they want to try to keep their towers, with Baron, just kind of turtle a little bit, try to get back into the game, and then keep the 10k lead, so then the 10k lead is less and less and less as big as it was, because 37.7 to 28.3 is not as bad as when it's like, it's worse than when it's like 57.9 to like 48.2. So I guess they're just gonna try to wait it out. They're gonna pick up a free tower here. I don't know if they're gonna be able to contest it. While GP is top, he's pushing top lane. He could be able to pick that up too.
He's gonna
ultimate goes down to Raging Kenny, but he's able to cleanse that out. And ooh, that's a miss ult there. They're not gonna be able to engage on for a while. What do you think happened there with the Chidori ult?
I'm not 100% sure. I think that he thought that it would go a little bit further than expected, and maybe expected somebody to be a little bit more aggressive with the Gangplank base that they knew about. But I mean, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you misclick.
Yeah, sometimes you have bad actions and stuff like that. I noticed that there has been a bug recently that's been talked about, that a lot of wireless mouses have been having problems with right clicking. I've experienced this myself, and I know a lot of people that have been experiencing it, where when you try to right click for an action, it doesn't actually go through. They might be actually having that action because that Chidori ult was kind of delayed, because they would have synchronized both the Ashe ult and the Chidori ult, then Kog'Maw wouldn't have been able to cleanse out of it, because he would have cleansed out of the arrow and then still be stuck in the Sejuani ult.
Both teams are kind of sitting at a standstill right now. Both just kind of playing a little bit more defensive. Hoodstomp Graves GG just waiting on the Baron to fall off.
And yeah, because they do realize that they have the 10k gold advantage as well. Like they're basically playing two different styles. You know, they're both aware that Hoodstomp Graves GG has the lead. So basically, Hoodstomp is just sitting back. You know, they're gonna keep farming. They're gonna take towers whenever they can. They're gonna take dragons. You know, try to extend the gold advantage as much as possible. And meanwhile, we have Dirtnap Gaming. They realize that they can't 5v5 them. You know, they'll dominate them every time, but they'd have better late game. So they're just gonna try to drag out the late game as much as possible. It's two different play styles. You know, it depends on which one will actually end up working. And I mean, they could press and end the game right now, especially now that Baron has just been expired. Not 100% sure when Baron will be back up, but hopefully it'll be a well-contested fight, and the winner of that fight will probably determine the winner of the game.
Yeah, Baron should be back up in 2 or 3 minutes or so, and the one major thing that you got to look at right now is the huge goal difference between the carries. I mean, Ashe is sitting at 231 CS to Kog'Maw's 152, and that's 80 CS. The goal difference is over 2,000 right now. The goal difference between Twisted Fate and Ahri is over 3,000.
And you could tell that with the items too. I mean, Ashe already picking up her Infinity Edge, and she has 3 Doran's Blade with the Phantom Dancer, while Kog'Maw only has the BF sword. Like, he's not able to finish his Infinity Edge, and that is a huge amount of damage for Kog'Maw. That's the difference between a Kog'Maw that does an amount of damage and just one that absolutely destroys and melts your team.
Yeah, there isn't anybody too huge to force him to build a Madrid, so the ability for him to just build an Infinity Edge and just go solid on everybody's comfortable.
Yeah, it's just absolutely just amazing. And I mean, looking here, we just have some back and forth happening. You know, but they do have Kog'Maw poke, and they do have Twisted Fate poke. So they're just gonna keep using that to advantage. And the ult comes out, and they ult on top of Loopiness and Raging Kenny. Raging Kenny goes down. Loopiness does go down as well. Lovely Chris is gonna go down with the ignite. So he's able to ulti across on Hoodstomp, and Hoodstomp is just gonna take him out. That's a 3-0 advantage. But Flappy Bearfist is in trouble. Oh, but he gets the ult off, but he's not going to be able to do it as 5 people are converging on him in the tower. Link is
there
actually
goes
just going to be
with
alone.
the flash.
And that's a nice flash fire or frostfire. Man, I forget the Ahri ability is. I apologize. But it was able to activate it. And yeah, Foxfire. Sorry about that. I was able to activate Foxfire and flash out, and all 3 ticks did hit TF and just absolutely just destroyed him. And that's a 4-1 advantage. That inhibitor is going to go down, and this could mean the end of the game. 19-4, a 13k advantage. Top is pushing as well. They could take this top inhibitor as well as the mid inhibitor. And generally, when there's 2 inhibitors down, that usually means that a good game is going to be issued out soon.
But it does look like they might actually try and force them off turret, at least force them away so they have a chance to regroup for another team fight later.
Oh, and Luminous does get caught out, and so does Raging Kenny, and it gets hit. That Ahri damage just absolutely melting through the carries of their team. And Kog'Maw does go down as well as
is
TF,
an ace.
and that is a complete ace, 5-0 ace, and that will probably be the end of the game. The GGs are getting issued out. The top inhibitor is going down. I'm not 100% sure if the surrender's happening yet, but it should pretty much be happening soon, because you know they do have the minions being pushed out. And you know, sorry for the DC, because you know TF was DC'd for quite a long time, and this does end Dirtnap Gaming's introduction into the game. Actually, I lost the call there. Sorry about that. I actually lost you in the call. And that is the ace, and that is the end of the game. I am Attackfang here, along with Fatalocity. Add me on Twitter, Facebook, Own3D, and YouTube. Just type in the name /Attackfang. And that was the second round. Hoodstomp Graves GG basically came out for the victory. I'm Attackfang, and Fatalocity helped me out with the shoutcast. Appreciate it, and thank you, and hopefully we'll see you next game.